Welcome to Cliffhangers and Cocktails podcast with Amy Sissel, that's me, and
Shéa MacLeod, that's me.
we're USA Today bestselling authors of paranormal women's fiction, among other things. And this podcast is brought to you by the Caftan Coven. Today is our fourth episode, and we're going to be talking about Shéa's book, Day of the Were-Jackal. We'll also be talking drinkies, witchy things, and, as always, general shenanigans.
Shenanigans. That's my favorite word. So we're going to just start off, as we always do, with an affirmation for the week. So today's affirmation is, I am open to receiving blessings in all forms, knowing that I deserve nothing but the best.
100% true.
Absolutely.
100%.
And that is my wish for all of you listening as well.
Yes, every single one of us deserves the best.
Absolutely. Speaking of the best, we have to talk about this because this is so cool. Because I mean, so my birthday, we're recording this not long after my birthday, but it will actually go live right after your birthday because we're both awesome Aquarians.
I am not an Aquarian. You take that back.
Okay, sorry. I'm an Aquarian. We're amethyst people. We're awesome amethyst people. She's a Pisces. I'm an Aquarian. But this Aquarian and this Pisces went out with some friends to celebrate my birthday, and we went to the most amazing drag show last weekend, and it was so much fun.
I mean, she came out and was very much right, and she played piano first of all.
Yes,
so it was all like singing and piano. Well, keyboard. Obviously, she didn't haul in a grand piano. But the first song was "Sing Us a Song, You're the Piano Queen," and I don't know if I have ever laughed so hard. It was the best rendition of that song I've ever heard.
I mean, it was fantastic. And then, I mean, just there was Lady Gaga. There was songs she had a song about, what was it, 100 Ways to Lose a Man or something.
Oh, yeah.
It was just so funny and delightful. And if you want to follow her name is Saint Syndrome. She's on Instagram. And if you're in the Portland area, you really should check out one of the shows because it was so funny and so uplifting, and it was exactly what I needed for my birthday.
Oh my God, it was so fun. And it was at one of my favorite new wine bars in North Portland as well. So I'm really glad that you got to come hang out at my favorite wine bar.
Really cool wine bar. Such nice people.
Pink bubbles all night, and it was so fun.
It was super fun. And this is important because drag queens are going to come up again later in the sesh. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about the waning moon. That's the period that we're in as of the day this releases. Mm-hmm. And the waning moon is associated with Hecate, and it's a time for releasing negative energy, letting go of the past, and reflecting on lessons learned. Mm-hmm. It's also used for banishing illnesses and removing negative energy. And Shéa, how do you use it?
I use it a lot with bindings because if you're going to work, I don't always ascribe to the whole you can, some people will only manifest abundance during certain moon phases, and I don't totally ascribe to that. But I do ascribe to the most powerful time to do bindings is during the waning moon because it's all about letting go. It's about banishing negativity. And so when you're doing a binding, you're not trying to cause a person harm. You're preventing. Well, it's a little bit of a karma spell because you're preventing that person from causing you or the people you love harm.
Oh, and that works then.
Yeah. And in that way, that kind of can be let them have whatever it is they deserve, but they're not allowed to harm me and mine. And by doing that binding, there's something about that waning moon that I think just adds a little bit of extra.
It's also a really good time to infuse any of your protection spells or jars. Mm-hmm. Charging them under the waning moon for an extra dose of defense against unwanted energy is great. Cord cutting rituals can also be effective during this phase and the dark moon phase. I don't typically do a lot of formal spell work, but I do enjoy renewing my crystals in my spell jars in the waning moon. And I feel like that's a really powerful thing to do to help me connect to the natural world and bring that back into myself, and also just cleansing. letting go
Yes.
of negative energy that might be hanging out.
I mean, it does tend to hang out, especially in our modern world with everything that's going on. So, like, yeah, I don't do a lot of super formal spell work, but I definitely do bindings. I do the occasional, like, spell jar. I do have crystals all over the house, which of course need charged.
Obviously.
I do a bit of candle work,
Yep.
and of course cocktail spells. I mean, that is probably cocktail spells are probably my main spell work right there. I'm not sure what that says about me.
It says
And
that cocktails are delicious
I mean,
and
yeah,
you appreciate the finer things in life.
absolutely. Yes, let's go with that. And of course, cleansing is like really important. So, like, and it's really like cleansing is super easy to do. I mean, some people go to this big ritual thing, and I like literally get in the shower and just sort of wash off and visualize that the energy, the negative energy, is just being washed away with it. And that's literally the spell. That's it. That's all I do.
I like to do that with like eucalyptus.
Ooh,
Like the
nice.
shower, like you can put these shower, I don't know what they're called, shower, they look like little pucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of, as the hot water hits them, they like release this eucalyptus scent.
Yes.
And that feels
Nice.
so cleansing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I love lavender for relaxation. That's the other one that I use
Yeah.
sometimes. But like if I need to feel like things are being washed away,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's eucalyptus. And I don't know what that means. I've never looked that up other than it
Um,
feels really good for me.
yeah, see for me it's lemon, but eucalyptus, now that's an interesting thing. I'm gonna use the power of this magical spell box here. If I can spell eucalyptus, um magical magical properties. Emotional balance, spiritual growth, and cleansing. There we go.
Perfect. My
Excellent.
instincts were
Yeah.
spot on.
They are, that's what I find. Usually people who are naturally drawn to witchcraft tend to have that instinct. I also I once bought a cleansing scrub that was like, I think it was like Hawaiian black salt or something. And it was like, that really felt nice and like energetically cleansing as well.
You remember that shop we went to, like maybe it was in Beaverton? We
Oh
went with
yeah.
Samantha.
Mm-hmm.
And there was soap.
Yes. Yeah.
And I bought a soap there called Wake Up Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And it sat in a jar. In a jar? No, in a drawer. It sat in a drawer for like ages and ages. And then about a month ago, I'm like, oh, you know what? This witch needs to wake up. So I put it in the shower, and the like one side of it was like an exfoliating part of the soap, and the other
Mm-hmm.
side was more of a, oh my God, that
Yeah.
is the best soap. It made me feel good. The
Really?
exfoliation it wasn't too rough. I don't know what they make it out of. It was amazing. Like
Mm.
literally the best soap in the world. And today, there's no more exfoliation because used it
No.
all and there's just a little sliver of soap left.
Uh-oh. We may have to go to that shop again then.
Do you remember what it was called?
Yes, it's called oh okay, my
Oh, oh, if the broom fits.
If the Broom Fits. That's like I literally have a book by that title and I all of a sudden went like, yes, If the Broom Fits. Yes, they had that little soap in the back room. She had that little soap company in the back room. Yeah.
That
And
was
I
such
don't
a fun
remember what the
store.
soap company name was, but
I
yes.
don't know either, but I'll see if I can figure it out and pop it into the
Yes.
show notes.
Yeah, I also
Everyone
get
needs to wake up, witches.
absolutely. And there's a woman out in Coos Bay that I love her. She does a lot of magical soap. She does an abundance money attracting soap that I really like. And she does a cleansing one as well that's I think like citrus that I really like as
Ooh,
well.
I like citrus.
It's it does very much wake up the witch.
Um, so going back to our moon.
Oh yeah, back to the moon that is waning.
Yes, the moon is waning. The waning moon can affect your mood by making people feel more thoughtful, reflective, ready for self-care, using your magic witch soap.
Mhm.
This is not medical advice.
Yeah.
Those are the notes that Shea put in for me.
I just want to make it really clear because I was reading up a little bit on how the moon like can affect mood and emotional well-being, and I'm like, okay, this is really good stuff, but I don't want anyone to think that this is medical advice and should take the place of going to see a mental health professional.
Yes, yes.
These
Please utilize all the resources that
all
you
the
have available,
resources. Yes.
not just witchcraft and the
Absolutely.
moon. Love the moon, but also love my psychiatrist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
both are good.
Yes. I see my counselor on the regular, and I think that's really important. So
It is a good time though to do some restorative yoga if that's your
Mhm.
jam.
Yes.
Taking a healing bath with calming herbs, meditating,
Mhm.
and we have a journal prompt that you can
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
and it's how can I nurture myself in preparation for a new beginning. The
Mhm.
moon, we're almost to the dark phase. We're almost to Astara. Like
Mhm.
this, the days are getting longer and longer. If
Things
you're
are
in the
blooming.
Portland area at
Yeah.
this moment in time,
Wow.
you'll notice that the sun has come up before 7 a.m. for a couple
Ooh.
days now.
Mhm.
And that is super exciting.
It is astonishing.
Um,
As of the recording of this, which is obviously before we put it out, there is currently snow on the ground, but that's Portland for you. Um,
yes,
but
there
things
is.
are also starting to bloom as well, and kind of nice little green things are pushing up through the ground. So
Yep, I've
new
been
things
seeing
are coming.
crocuses and daffodil shoots,
Mhm.
and
Hyacinths.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be real. And the snow won't last very
yeah.
long this time anyway. So,
Mm-mm.
anyway, so what's next? Are we drinking today, Shaya?
Well, we are. First I'm wearing my little soda light
Oh,
that
yes.
let's talk about
Oh,
this.
forgot.
I got soda light, this lovely little soda light necklace. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it in person, but it's just a lovely little like donut shaped soda light on a necklace that was a gift for my birthday. And that also it comes into play because when we're going to talk about my book, there soda light plays a role in the book. But I love soda light because not only is it really pretty, but it's for clarity. It promotes clarity, it promotes healing. And if you read my book, apparently it helps mundanes like not see stuff.
And to answer things truthfully.
Yeah. So yeah. And what have you got going on over there?
Well, I had memory is going to be a theme of some stuff that I'm doing today. But I had my little Jasper elephant.
So
If you're
cute.
on the YouTubes, you can see it. And
Mm-hmm.
Jasper is something good for healing. And we've kind of talked a little bit about, doing that kind of self-care, self-healing,
Mm-hmm.
banishing illness, all of those things. Plus, elephants. Elephants are
Elephants are
a
great.
memory thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll talk a little bit more about why that's important in a minute. And the other thing that I have is my citrine crystal ball.
Love that
And I
crystal
love
ball.
this so much. And it sits like in the center of my altar. And it's a great focus stone for me.
Mm-hmm.
And citrine is a symbol of abundance and joy and transmutation as we're starting to transform from the winter in towards the spring, and the moon is going into the dark phase. Everything is transforming, and the earth is waking up. And it just
Mm-hmm.
felt really appropriate for
Awesome.
today.
Cool.
Also, abundance.
Yes. Abundance,
Joy.
definitely. Citrine is for abundance. Elephants are for abundance. So absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, drinky time. So moving on. So we're going to talk about my book today, Day of the Were-Jackal, which is the first book in my Edwina Gale Paranormal Investigator series, which is a
Good now.
spin-off of Deepwood Witches. Very long there. Yes. So one of the things we always like to do is sort of like focus on a drink that sort of maybe we try to have it either have something to do with the moon phase, or we try to have something to do with the book that we're talking about. And in Day of the Were-Jackal, there's a lot of champagne. Like a lot of champagne. Yes, which you have champagne today. I decided to make a maple old fashioned because an old fashioned is one of my favorite drinks. And maple is like Edwina's favorite donut is a maple bacon bar. And she's always went on about these making maple making maple.
How much of this have you had?
have. Listen now. Maple bacon bars. So I thought it would be fun to kind of like do something that involved maple. And I guess if you're like, there's no bacon, but I guess if you're really into sweet and salty, you can stick a strip of bacon in it for some garnish. I don't know. But I know I'm weird. Okay, she's looking at me like, so the look. Yeah, the look. Okay. Moving on. So the ingredients are 2 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 ounces lemon juice, 1/4 ounce maple syrup, 1/4 ounce maraschino liqueur, a dash of Angostura bitters, and a dash of orange bitters. And I actually, this is a little lemony for me. So personally, if I did it again, I'd pull back on the lemon and zhuzh up the maple. But everybody has their own taste. So if you like it more lemony, this might be perfect. So you basically just throw everything in a cocktail shaker with some ice, shake it up, and pour it in a rocks glass. And this is actually a really good drink, funnily enough, for this time, because I didn't actually mean it that way. But then when I looked up all the ingredients, voila. So lemon is, of course, purification, banishing negative energies. Cherry, which is in the, maraschino liqueur is cherry, of course, is for rebirth and renewal. Orange is for attracting positivity. Maple syrup is used for love magic, moon magic, abundance spells, healing spells, divination, and it provides protection against negative energies.
Okay, I need more pancakes in my life.
I know, right? Like I was reading up about how some of the Native American tribes would use maple trees and whatever for like to protect against negative energies and negative, beings, I guess, like dark beings. So, and then of course, bourbon promotes change and transformation. So this is like the perfect drink for
this time. So well.
Yeah.
So well.
So good. Yeah. So basically, it's just the whole properties of this drink are about banishing negativity, attracting positive energy, and like renewal. And I just really love that. I think that's so perfect.
Well, and I'm drinking champagne.
Yes.
And when you read Shéa's book, you'll like right at the beginning, she drinks champagne out of an old-fashioned coupe glass.
Yes.
So here I am drinking my champagne out of an old-fashioned coupe glass. And I like was all ready to be dramatic and pop the cork on this champagne bottle when we got to this part. Yes. And it was going to be great. And I was going to be like, oh yes, listen to that sound. It's my favorite. And so I got everything. I took off the foil and I was loosening the cage. And the champagne decided to open itself before we started recording. And first of all, it scared the shit out of me. And then also it like overflowed and flowed into my keyboard and all over my desk. And,
terrible.
And my notebook is damp now. And
oh no.
Also, it was kind of sad because champagne should not be on my desk. It should be in my mouth.
It should be in your mouth. Yeah, absolutely.
And this is, and I am not kidding, the best champagne I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Oh my God. It was the only bottle I had in the house. And of champagne. Like I have others.
I was gonna say, you have many bottles in the house. I know you.
This was the only bottle of actual champagne I had in the house. Because I keep drinking it. I buy champagne and then I like, oh, I'll save this for a special occasion. I'm like, oh, it's Tuesday.
I mean, what more do you need, right?
I mean, honestly, I'm not a big believer in saving things for special occasions because being alive is a special occasion.
Absolutely. Life is far too short to put off good things.
But like champagne is all about like love and celebration. And we are recording this on Valentine's Day, actually, so that's kind of fun.
It is fun.
And that kind of mixes with your maple syrup magical properties as well. And it has said that champagne can increase memory and cognitive function.
Ooh.
And so I have my elephant, I have a champagne, and I don't know how alcohol increases your memory and cognitive function, but we're not going to question this, okay? We're not questioning it.
I'm like wondering how scientific this is and if I need to drink more champagne. And of course, the answer is yes.
But so I'm in menopause, and my memory is not always the best anymore, which is one of the side effects of menopause.
It is.
Yeah. It is probably my least favorite. Like, I don't like hot flashes. I can deal with it, though. Like, they're over fairly quickly. I don't like the extra face hair that seems to be
Yeah,
occurring.
the plucking, the
The
never
plucking.
ending plucking. Yeah.
And I'm like, do I just grow a full beard? Like, what am I doing with my life now? And I don't like the itchy ears. And I
Itchy
don't like that
ears.
nobody told me that this is a common menopause
Is
thing.
it?
It's like the inside of your ears being itchy.
I
I
didn't
just
know
learned this.
that.
I'm like, why are my ears
Ah,
always itchy? And then I learned this week that it's a symptom of menopause. And like, it's not just me.
oh my gosh. Like, yeah, since I hit perimenopause, I've noticed that my ears have been like, you get that itch in there and nothing you do can scratch that itch.
Yes.
I had no idea. I just thought it was some weird thing.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing.
Oh my gosh. That's so
Anyway,
bizarre.
so
Oh,
menopause, yes, memory, need it. So more
yeah.
champagne. Um,
Okay.
this is a Blanc de Blanc, which means it's made 100% from Chardonnay grapes. And
Ooh.
Chardonnay grapes are all about abundance and
Mm-hmm.
prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
And grapes themselves have a lot of spiritual energy and can be used for a lot. They're great for moon magic, actually,
Mm-hmm.
is one of the things that I learned when I was looking up grapes
Cool.
specifically.
Cool, cool, cool.
So I feel like everything we're talking about is just really kind of coming together today,
It
as it
really
usually
is.
does for us.
It does.
For
Uh,
its sake,
we
baby.
really are. It's funny how everything, because like we sometimes like kind of just start putting these things together, and it doesn't seem like any of it goes together, but then somehow it does. It always does. It always works out. It's because we're awesome.
We are awesome. We are awesome. Like and subscribe. Um, we're going to move now into our book discussion.
Yeah, books, books,
And
books.
today we are talking about, as previously mentioned, Day of the Were-Jackal by Shéa MacLeod. And this is Shéa, and she's
Hi.
the author of this best-selling. Shéa is the author of the best-selling Lady Rample Mysteries, a cozy mystery series set in Jazz era London, which is so fun to read it, as well as the contemporary
Hi.
Robert's Cozy Mysteries. If I don't like question my pronunciation of something at least 3 times on this, does the podcast even happen? No.
Probably not. No. Mm-mm.
Probably not. And the delightfully magical Deepwood Witches Mysteries. She lives in a rainforest in the Pacific Northwest where she fuels her writing habit with copious amounts of coffee, wine, and chocolate.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to
Um,
get super technical, I live in a swamp, but we won't talk about that.
a swamp. It says rainforest in your bio, so we're going to go with
Both
rainforest.
things can happen at the same time.
Shea lives in a swamp. Shea is a swamp
I am a
monster.
swamp witch.
Oh, yes, not monster, witch.
Yeah,
Witch.
swamp witch.
Sorry. So this book, the blurb that we're gonna for the book is in Deepwood, Oregon, magic mingles with the mundane, love the alliteration, and
Thank you.
sometimes leads to murder. As an investigator for the Witch Council of Deepwood, Edwina Gale is used to tracking down supernatural bad guys and keeping the reality of magic hidden from mundane humans. And she does all this while juggling the business of running her diner. When her romantic weekend is interrupted by the murder of a drag queen, can she solve the crime before an innocent person is convicted? I haven't finished the book yet, so please don't tell me.
My lips are sealed.
So we kind of already talked about favorite cocktails, mocktails, but is champagne Edwina's favorite?
I think Edwina, no, it's not actually her favorite, although somehow she's drinking it quite a lot. She likes a
Wouldn't
good
you?
red. She likes a good red, and
Mhm.
she's kind of, I think, a whiskey girl. She's like, she was in the military in an
Yeah.
earlier part of her life. And so she's, kind of used to drinking a little harder than champagne. Although having drunk both whiskey and champagne will hit me way harder every time. So, but she's just not a fussy person. She likes really simple, she tends to like simple things. So, other
She
than
scares me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
she scares me a little bit, but I kind of also want to be her when I grow
Oh,
up.
100%.
Hmm.
100%. So tell us a little bit about your author journey. When did you begin writing?
Oh, well. According to my aunt, and I totally believe her because my aunt would not lie to me. When I was little, before I even could talk, I would be in the back seat of the car babbling, and she could tell that I was telling a story by the cadence of my
Mm-hmm.
voice, but it was just like nonsensical talk because I couldn't talk. But I was literally telling myself a story. And
I love that.
so she thought it was hilarious, but so she told me about that, and I always thought that was kind of funny, but of course I started writing, as soon as I could write. But I actually published my first book in 2011, and I've been writing full time since the end of that year.
I want to ask you how many books you have published, but I don't know if you'll even be able to come up with that number.
I can't.
Somewhere around 3 to 4 million, I'm guessing.
No, it's somewhere between 80 and 100.
If I wasn't holding a glass of champagne, I would fall out of my chair in shock.
Don't
But
don't don't
champagne
don't
is
mess with the
important.
champagne. Yeah.
Would not. Already
No.
had a little spill today. I'm not
We've already
wasting any more.
wasted too much champagne today.
Yeah. So you have multiple series, I know, and they're across multiple genres.
Yes.
This one is obviously fantasy, a paranormal women's fiction, yes?
It's paranormal women's fiction / cozy mystery. And it probably could fit under the cozy urban fantasy genre a little bit too. But a woman of a certain age, if you will. Edwina is 60. Something. She won't tell you which side of something that is.
Fair. I want her hair.
Right?
Like she's got this long gray braid. And right now my hair is purplish. I've got my silver wings, which I refuse to let my hairdresser touch because I love them.
They are
but I
very
just
fabulous.
want my hair to all be this color because then I'm going to stop dyeing it.
That's basically what her color is all throughout. And it's kind of a thing where she's just not a fussy person, and she just can't be bothered to dye her hair.
I only dye mine fun colors. I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm going gray. I'm just trying to be super fun.
I mean, fair. And I occasionally will do the same myself. But yeah, she just can't even, she's too busy chasing supernatural bad guys to bother with, a trip and chasing Fred off of her diner stool to worry about dyeing her hair.
Why is he naked?
Fred just likes to be naked. I mean,
can't he wear a kilt? I'm offended by his naked self sitting on a stool. I don't like this. I don't like it at all.
He's just a character, and I honestly don't know, why he just came to me. He first appears in one of the Deepwood Witch mysteries. Edwina is in the Deepwood Witches mysteries. She's a regular character, like a side character for the first 4 books. And then the last 2 books, she's kind of the main character. And then I kind of just spun her off into her own series. And he appears in those books, and he's also naked. And I don't know. I just had this visual of this old naked guy sitting on the bar stool, and how she would react to that. And just he's a bit of a nudist, and he really honestly thinks he has the right to be nude wherever he wants to be.
Okay, so our last episode with Tara, there were balls.
Yes.
And now this episode with you, there are balls.
Yeah. I don't describe them very much. They're actually referred to as donut holes.
Yes, which is almost worse. Listen, that is actually not the main point of her book. Her book is not about balls.
And it's not even about Fred. I mean, Fred does come into play, and he's got some issues that need sorting out in more ways than one. He does eventually put on a muumuu.
Yes, he does, which is lovely.
Eventually,
is comfy.
I mean, it is, right? And so eventually he's just about letting the boys be free.
And that's fine as long as I don't have to see them or wipe off a bar stool that they've touched.
And that is exactly how Edwina feels. You do you, don't mess with my bar stool. So, yeah.
Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent there about Fred. Sorry. So what inspired this story?
Well, So,
Nudists.
yeah,
Shayna the nudist.
yeah, no, oh, well, no, ironically, I'm not. But it's a little too cold in Portland most of the time to be a nudist successfully, I think. Although I've had a few hot flashes where, nudism was.
Ever cold anymore. It's so weird. But I also still wear clothes, just to be clear.
I mean, same. Um, no,
What you want.
I was invited to be a part of an anthology writing paranormal women's fiction, and we were supposed to have a novella, and it had to be something new that we'd never published before. And I had had an idea, and I was going for like this whole new series that I was going to write, and I realized that it was just going to take more length than we were given to write this story. And so I decided, you know what, I just want to write a story about a character that I already know really well and I really enjoy writing about. And of course, Edwina would just came to mind because I'd been writing about her in Deepwood Witches and I'd had so much fun with her. So I wrote this, and the Egyptian mythology was already part of the story. It was part of an earlier story, and so it felt natural to bring that in. And I don't know.
To learn more about Merit.
We do. There's actually you learn a little bit more about Merit. Merit's actually introduced in one of the Deepwood Witches novels. And then she reappears in this novel, and going forward as I write the series, she will become a regular character. So
cool. I love her already.
She's very cool.
And Merit is a high priestess of.
She was a high priestess of the god Amun.
Okay.
And she we don't know. I mean, she's very mysterious. But she got jiggy with a Were-Jackal at some point in her past, so she's got descendants roaming the earth. And so she's a few thousand years old. She's still around. She wanders around. She has this shop that just sort of wanders around with her. It just kind of appears where she does. Yeah. So that idea I got from one of it's a pretty common idea. I've read books with that idea before, but I had just watched the Mystic Pop-Up Bar, which is a K-drama, and I thought, oh, that would be fun to kind of incorporate something like that. So
Terry Pratchett uses it too in a couple books, I think. Yeah. It is a very common thing, and it's something I really love.
I do too.
And I'm not gonna lie, this is a thing that's happening in Oracle Bay in one of my next books.
See, I love it. And to me, it's like, oh, come on, bring it on. More, please.
Everybody should have a traveling shop of some kind.
Everybody should. It would make life so much easier, really. So,
it's actually not in Oracle Bay, but...
but yeah, and then the whole drag queen angle, I was watching RuPaul's Drag Race at the time. And so, as you do. And I was just like, this would be really fun to incorporate like a traveling drag show into this. And I wasn't sure how it was all going to come together, but it did.
It's so fun, you guys. I haven't finished it yet, so I can't find out how it ends. Also, you don't want to tell the people how it ends.
No, we don't want to tell the people how it ends. But yeah, I had a lot of fun writing it, and I think it shows. And I'm rereading it because I'm going to write the second book in the series this year. And it's been a little while since I wrote it, so I wanted to kind of refresh my mind. And I was like, oh, I remember having a lot of fun with this. I can't wait to write the next book.
I can tell. It is so great. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things I super appreciate is that there are places in the book where people introduce themselves with their pronouns. Mm-hmm. And there is a transgender character. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, this is how it is. It's not like a big deal. And I love that. I love that so much.
Well, I mean, that's just how, to me, I think that's how it should be. And
100%.
That is how it is in my brain, that when a person says, these are my pronouns and this is who I am, I'm just like, okay, cool. And I don't really see why there needs to be some big argument or protest against who that person feels that they are. And that's for them to decide, not me. I just accept who they are. So I just want to infuse that into my work, that this is just how it should be, because maybe by showing how it should be, it makes it more understandable for other people.
Fortunately, we live in a country that doesn't care about any of that stuff at all.
Fortunately, yeah.
Let me just drink all of this in one go.
Wait, you mean the whole bottle of booze?
I was thinking just my glass, but I can't. It's so bubbly, I can't do more than a sip. Otherwise, I'll be having to cut out a lot of unnecessary audio.
Yeah, I wanted to, I really did want to make that important point though, like and I have a cousin who I dearly love who is transgender, and he read it for me like sort of as a sensitivity read to make sure I handled it well. And because that was really, really important to me. And so as I've gone along in my work, I've infused more and more diverse characters into my work. And I just think that's really important, that my work reflects the world that I live in. Not some fantasy all white, all straight Hollywood world.
I love that a lot. I do. And you know that these are causes very dear to my heart
I
as
do.
well.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate it. So next question, just like moving on past
Moving
all
on.
of the human rights bit. Do you have any specific side characters besides Merritt that you want to like just pull out to the forefront?
Oh yeah, Bubbles Fawn Booty, for sure.
So my notes about this book say Bubbles Von Booty, 5 exclamation points, LOL.
Yeah, so I like had so much fun researching drag names, like so much fun.
Oh my
And
God.
when I came up with Bubbles Fawn Booty, and I don't even know where it came from, honestly, it just like popped into my head. And I like rolled on the floor. I nearly wet myself laughing so hard. And so Bubbles Von Booty was born, and she's just the most fabulous drag queen. And she has, of course, a secret, and she gets accused of a little bit of murder. So
What's a little bit of murder? Is that like being a little pregnant?
kind of, yeah. Yeah.
There is a murder.
There is a murder,
It's a whole murder.
it is a whole murder, a total murder, and she is accused. And so of course Edwina is a little bit sus about the whole thing, and she wants to find out what the truth is, of course, because that's Edwina's thing.
She is nosy,
She's
as all
super
the best small town mystery solvers are.
It is true. Now, in her case, she's actually paid to be nosy, so
But she does say this is stretching the
it is,
bounds
yeah,
of her job description.
It is, yeah.
She's not Jessica Fletcher, just like
Right,
that
no.
kind of nosy.
But she's definitely stretching her job title more than a little. But yeah, so Bubbles is definitely going to appear in future books. Some of the other drag queens may or may not. I mean, this is a traveling drag show, so they're not all from the area, but drag queens in general are just going to be part of the Edwina Gale series. So yeah.
I think this is so great that we're talking about this book and we just went to that drag show. And again, everything comes together.
It does. It does. I mean, I loved going to Darcel's back in the day, back when I was in my 20s. Yes. I have a picture somewhere. I love to dig it up. I'm not sure where it is. I know it's in the office somewhere, of myself with Darcel back when he was still around, and full drag, glorious, glorious drag. And
wasn't Darcel the oldest drag queen in America?
Darcel was the oldest performing drag queen in America. Yes.
And we have Darcel Plaza now that is being worked on here in the city of Portland.
Oh, we do? I hadn't heard that. That's amazing. Yeah.
I think it's very nearly complete, or is complete. You'd think I'd know, but I do not. But Darcel Plaza is
fabulous.
Here in honor of Darcel.
I love that. I love that. Darcel was really amazing. Funny. And we would wait in line and Darcel would come out with like one of the other drag queens and like greet everybody in line while they waited to go inside.
Oh my God, she did.
Yes, she did.
I
And
never had the pleasure of seeing her, and it makes me so sad.
oh, she was, oh, raunchy sense of humor too. My God. But there was a drag queen called Monica Boulevard. And Monica Boulevard was tall, blonde, fabulous. Loved my shoes, complimented me on my shoes. So that just made my day. And so I have a picture with the two of them. And I don't know if Monica Boulevard is still performing or what, but sadly we lost Arcel a few years ago. And that was heart-wrenching, but I'm so glad I had that memory. So of course, I have to write drag queens into my book now because
I think that's
oh,
appropriate.
yeah.
And we're gonna post a picture of us with Saint Syndrome, obviously.
Yes, obviously, yes.
Because that just fits so well. This interview has gone like so far off the rails.
It really has. This has been wild.
I am scooching down my question, and we have the same questions we ask every author.
Yeah.
But we don't know the other authors as well as we know ourselves.
Right. True.
Each other, I mean.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay. More drinks? Drinks.
So tell me about the most interesting or unusual research you've done for a book you're writing.
Oh goodness, what have I done? Well, I've done a lot of cocktail mixology. I've taken mixology classes.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just learned a new thing. No tangents. No tangents. I learned a new thing. I'll ask you later. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'll ask you later.
I have taken a couple of little online mixology classes. Nothing fancy. But I also have like cocktail books like all over the house, literally. I have gone to some really strange there's when I was in the UK, I did some I went to cemeteries. I've been to cemeteries. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't? There's
probably a lot of people.
Okay, maybe. I went to this it's called Sir John Soane's Museum, which this dude was like a I can't remember if he was Regency or early Victorian, but like he collected like all this weird stuff. Like he's got everything from literal actual shrunken heads.
Yes, I know who this is.
Yes, to like a sarcophagus, an Egyptian sarcophagus in his basement. I mean, because the British were a little bit like steely. Yeah.
Yeah, every time the British Museum is like, oh, something got stolen from us, and we're like, oh, so
did it really?
Do you know what stealing is? Anyway, please continue.
Yeah,
I know about this. I wanted to go when I was in London last time, and it just didn't work out.
It is the strangest place because it's in his actual house where he lived, and it is just so full of stuff. Like he collected anything and everything, Grecian statues, bas reliefs, like yeah. So there was memento mori and just I mean everything like butterflies under glass and just like all kinds of strange, I mean just anything and everything this guy had.
So he was a hoarder.
He was a hoarder. Yeah, absolutely. Big time.
So how did this like inform your writing?
So in one of my early series, which was an urban fantasy series, I kind of infused I believe I actually wrote that into it. Well, I actually wrote the museum itself into my Notting Hill Diaries, which is a rom-com series. She goes on a date with a guy to this museum, which I actually was on a date with a guy when I went to this museum.
That's a bold choice for a date.
Yeah, it was. But like some of the things that I saw there, just like, I was able to just kind of write into various bits and pieces. And just some of the reactions that I had to some of the things that I saw just kind of really like allowed me to write in those emotions into things. There's been some interesting rabbit holes I've fallen down.
Okay, so if your series was picked up for television,
Mm.
who would play Edwina?
Oh my gosh. So, when I first was writing, I still have kind of a hard time because I kind of feel like I would want Kathy Bates, but Kathy Bates is a little bit too old. You know, she's a good 15 years older
Okay,
than
are you
Edwina
going to
is.
tell her that in person?
I would never say that to her in person. If she wants to play Edwina, she absolutely can play Edwina. She'll just, she'll just be Edwina in 15 years. It's fine. I mean, she's playing Matlock and she is killing it so hard right now.
Also, she's as scary as Edwina.
She absolutely is. And that is like kind of like age-wise and like how I kind of maybe picture Edwina maybe is like maybe Cameron Manheim. Certainly Cameron Manheim's hair.
She's so kind.
Is she? I've never met her, but she seems amazing. And I really loved her in some of the things I've seen her in. And I just thought she could probably pull it off,
She could.
Yeah.
She's not Cameron Manheim.
She's not as scary, I think, but I think she could.
Not scary.
I think she could. I think she could play scary if she needed to.
She's got range for sure.
Yeah. And she just has the physical presence that I feel like, she's got the hair, she's got the like the build, she's got the strength, and I just really like Kathy Bates or Cameron Manheim. Yeah.
And what about like some of the other characters in the book?
Oh, Fred, like I can't even imagine who I would have play Fred.
Steve Buscemi.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Yes?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I could see that.
That would be perfect casting.
That would be perfect casting. Absolutely. And Bubbles Von Booty. Who would we get to play with? I mean, short of RuPaul himself, but like, just like, I don't know who. I think I would want to have like someone who was an actual drag queen play Bubbles Von Booty because, they could really pull that off. But like, no.
Oh my God. What about, oh shit, what's his name? Jeremiah, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, wow.
The love interest.
Deeks. Yeah, Jeremiah Deeks, who has the Sam Elliott voice. He's very much Sam Elliott in my head. Of course, Sam Elliott at 60, not Sam
All
Elliott.
All of these people are too old.
I know. This is the thing.
So we need to make this movie 20 years ago.
Yes, we need to time travel 20 years ago.
Also, I was thinking for Edwina, do you know who would be great if like it wasn't a British American thing? Mm-hmm. Judi Dench. Because Judi Dench is amazing, but also terrifying.
She is amazing and terrifying. Yes. Or Dame Helen Mirren.
She's not as scary though.
She's a little, I don't know. Did you see her in Red?
Well, I mean, she can be scary, but like, I feel like Judi Dench is scary. Have you ever watched that Michael Sheen, David Tennant staged? That like little show they did during
COVID?
pandemic?
Oh, no, I didn't.
One of the at one point they're not getting along in series 1, I think it is. And they're like, how do we get these people to get along and like finish this show? And so somebody calls in a favor and they have to have a Zoom call with Judi Dench. And at the end, they're like, whatever you say, Dame.
I feel I would be that way too. Yeah. And
there's a lot of swearing.
That's a very Edwina energy. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, there's a few good options for Edwina, I think. I mean, we may have to mix up the ages a little bit. I mean, Hollywood does that all the time, right? So
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, so what are your plans for the rest of the year? We're in end of February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you published anything yet?
So at the end of January, I published Cupcake Goddess, which is a collection of 6 novellas that take place in my Season of the Witch world, and which actually are in the same world as Deepwood. So but it features Branwen, who's the Welsh goddess of love and beauty, and she owns a cupcake shop in Miracle Bay. And so it's just kind of about her. It's about how she started Miracle Bay. It's about shenanigans she got up to, and that brought her back to Miracle Bay after she left it. And so she's now the snarky goddess that we know and love. So I published that in January. Right now I'm working on the latest. It's actually a spinoff of Lady Rample, and which features her Aunt Betty. Yeah.
I love her.
Aunt Betty and Louise are getting up to shenanigans. They are stumbling over dead bodies, as they do. And Lady Rample will make a little appearance, of course, but it's mostly about Aunt Betty and Louise. And that will come out like, March or April, I'm hoping. And then I will be working on the next Edwina book, which will be Night of the Conjurer.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
So there's going to be drag brunch probably, or drag cocktail hour. I don't know.
Drag cocktail hour was great.
It was. So that will probably come up. There will probably be a piano situation going on because,
Okay, I just remembered that Saint Syndrome does a karaoke night where she plays.
Yes, we're going to have to research drag karaoke. We're going to have to research.
Those people who were sitting right next to us when I was like, "Ooh," we're like, "You guys, you have to go. It's amazing."
I'm all for it. It's research.
I love karaoke.
Yeah, same. So yes, we'll have to do that. So that will be the next one. The idea has been percolating for a while, simmering in the back of my brain. So it's about ready to pop out.
Let me know if you need help with research.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, finally, where can people find more about you?
Well, my website, ShéaMacLeod.com, is sort of under construction, but there, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. In theory, I'm on TikTok, but and you can find
we'll drop the links in the show notes as always.
And you can find my books on Amazon, Kobo, Apple Books, Barnes and Noble, like all the places. The library.
Libraries are an amazing place to get books.
Libraries are awesome, and you can get them for free. You just have to get a library card.
And my go to the library, support our libraries.
Absolutely.
And I don't care what anyone says. Going to the library and checking out our books helps us immensely.
It does. Authors do get paid for library checkouts. So, unlike pirating, which is bad and naughty.
Do not pirate.
Say no to pirates.
Go to the library. All right. Thank you so much, Shéa. I know I asked you a shit ton of questions.
And I know I rambled like a lunatic, but that's fine.
I feel like I helped you along with your lunacy.
Absolutely.
We tangent.
We do. We tangent well.
And, I need everyone to know that although we tangent during the podcast, we tangent more when we are not podcasting.
So much more.
Because we don't come with notes for in-person conversations.
To keep us on track.
Maybe we should.
Maybe.
No, let's never do that. That's no fun.
No.
All right, so you have an oracle deck you want to tell us about.
I do. This oracle deck is fabulous. It's called Fearless, Fight Like a Girl.
Ooh.
And the oracle is written by Angie Sullins, and the art is by Bente Schlick. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Bente or Bent. And I had seen it. Someone was showing some cards on the socials, and I just absolutely loved it, and I thought it was very appropriate, and the art was very fabulous. So I bought a copy, and so I thought today I would just pull a card from the deck. So that card is The Darkest Fight. I don't know if you can see it there.
It looks very dark.
It is. It's basically just sort of a dark stormy looking sky, and there is a little bit of land with a little candle in a hurricane lantern, and an angel with sort of a dark shroud
Ooh.
over the head and the wings extended. And it's a very sort of gloomy card. It's a little bit sort of introverted card. Um, I'm going to look up the meaning, what the author says the meaning, but to me, it kind of looks like, it's time to sort of, it's called The Darkest Fight, and it's like looking inwards, digging deep. And
Well, that's shadow work.
it does, yes, shadow work. This is what I'm kind of getting from this card. And let's see if I can find my card here. Here it is, The Darkest Fight. The darkest night of the soul comes for us all. It's never invited and rarely cherished, but the greatest shifts we make in our lives often arrive in the pre-dawn hours of that night. A brilliant poet once stated that someone gave her a box of darkness, and it took her years to discover that it was truly a gift. Your darkness is a gift. Don't resist it. Let yourself be stripped of what you thought you were going to experience, going to become. The dark is the place of initiation, though it may feel terrifying to unbecome. It is the way of metamorphosis. Unleash the unshed tears in your being. You are drowning. Let yourself sit in the midst of your grief. On that dark shore, inside the cocoon of your own undoing, waits the inevitability of wings.
That's beautiful. And again, it very much is the shadow work, but it
Mm-hmm.
also really fits in with our waning moon
It does.
and that whole
Mm-hmm.
transformation, that
Mm-hmm.
transmutation of self.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we've ever pulled a card wrong.
I don't think so either. Ever, it always has fit in some strange way.
And I do want to reiterate that we do not pre-pull our cards.
No, I just literally pulled it right now. I did
Yep.
pre-shuffle a little bit, but then I shuffled a little bit more, and I just let my intuition pull the card. So it was definitely not pre-pulled.
So part of shadow work really is not only trusting yourself to be able to keep yourself safe when you
Mm-hmm.
delve.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like having the confidence to know that if you look at those parts of yourself that you don't acknowledge,
Yeah,
that it can make you stronger.
absolutely.
It can make you healthier,
Mm-hmm.
and it can help you grow. It can help you transform into a more abundant, a more joyous person
Mm-hmm.
because you're not holding back parts of
Right.
yourself that you're afraid of.
You're not just stuffing them down, because when you stuff them down, eventually they fester and they explode, and they cause a lot of guilt and a lot of shame. And by looking at them, acknowledging them, integrating them into your whole self, you become a whole self, and you can become a happier and more secure person, I think.
Agreed, 100%. Shadow work, I think, is really important. And
Hmm.
whether you call it shadow work, as we do,
Hmm.
or you call it like accepting the parts of your past that you don't want to acknowledge, or some kind of like regression therapy where you look at what's hurting you.
Hmm.
I know people who have like a lot of PTSD do EMDR. I think that's what it's called. It's the eye movement,
Yeah.
and like that can help. And a lot of that is looking back at the badness in your past
Hmm.
and being able to incorporate it into your present and let go of what's holding you back.
Hmm.
And in shadow work, you don't always want to let go of what's holding you back. You want to be able to acknowledge it, figure out why it's happening,
Hmm.
and maybe incorporate it into who you are, but like consciously.
Hmm. Absolutely, because sometimes we're afraid of the very things that make us the strongest.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Aw, what a great note to end on.
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you so much for joining us today, and for on our long and winding rambles. And so check out the show notes. We're going to put the links to the book, the decks, the
Everything
recipe.
we've mentioned.
Everything we mentioned, we'll put in the recipe, links to our blog, our Instagram, and our website, and all that. And be sure and like and subscribe and follow and all that good stuff.
Please share.
And please, yes, please share it. Share with your friends, share on your social media. Just please share to anyone you think would enjoy this.
Because we're gonna smash it out of the park this year.
Absolutely, world domination. Yes, we need your help.
There's
for
a lot
world
of big
domination.
things happening this year, and we're gonna need your help to make it amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week ahead and be well.
Bye.
Bye.